what the dailies have in store for you, given that it is the 13th of June 2022. Jane, take it away.
On that note, taking up with the Daily Nation, informative left, right, and center. And surely local country with the Daily Nation. Let's learn this morning. So a bit of education, politics, degree saga, and also the COVID-19 status update, and also in regards to the World Health Organization. But first, Victor.
Talk of politics. Raila moves into clear lead over William Ruto. Karua pick seems to have helped Raila, while Rigathi does not seem to have boosted Ruto. It says that poll shows Odinga could surpass simple majority with 51.5%. That is if elections were held today. Raila, according to the Star here, says that Raila would garner 44.6%, while William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua combination would amass 38.9%. That is what's on the front page of the Star. IEBC to do away with hard copy voter register at polling stations. I'll give you more details shortly. Sakaja's flip-flopping leaves his academic credentials in doubt. Nairobi gubernatorial candidate Johnson Sakaja has left doubt about his academic credentials, with utterances made in 2020 interview coming back to haunt his bid. The city senator has already been cleared by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to run on the UDA party ticket. Sakaja presented a degree from Team University in Uganda for his clearance. All right, eyes on Senate as House debates 10 trillion shillings debt ceiling proposal. It's going to be a long week where the Senate will decide the fate of Kenya's new debt ceiling before they break for elections campaigns. The senators are scheduled to debate and vote on the National Treasury's proposal to increase the country's debt ceiling to 10 trillion shillings from the current 9 trillion shillings. Now, last week, the National Assembly voted to approve the Treasury's controversial request. Very quickly, no manual register at polling stations. Commission says that voters could be strictly identified electronically. The IEBC has said that it will not use a hard copy register of voters at the polling stations in an effort to lock out ghost voters. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairman of Chebukati said that the aim is to curb, quote-unquote, misuse of the physical registers as reported in the previous general elections, where the voters cannot be identified electronically using their biometric data. Now, the biographical information as indicated in their identification documents will be used to ascertain their identity and clear them, according to the IEBC. Now, the IEBC was responding to Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga's litany of questions to the agency over its preparedness to conduct the polls. Hidden pangas found in Kisii bar ahead of visit by Raila. Owner held at least 10 weapons found in a toilet at Senator's bar during a soup. This is according to the police in the sprawling Mwembe suburbs in Kisii Central, according to County Police Commander Francis Kohli, who said that officers acted on a tip from the public before raiding the premise. So ODM leader Raila Odinga is to visit Kisii Monday, that is today, while UDA presidential candidate William Ruto will head to the county later this month. Quite a worrying trend there, And finally, Raila Odinga moves into clear lead over DP William Ruto. It's a complete layout of a story here. It's a profile, and you can take on that with, comparison between Deputy President William Ruto and Honorable Raila Odinga, where this day it was conducted by Radio Africa poll, which gives Raila 44%, Ruto 38%, making it that is down. A race between the two gentlemen.
Now, let me take you back to the Daily Nation, starting with the story here on the header. Relief as the KNEC pays exam officials 684 million Kenya shillings. The agency has cleared allowances of over 80,000 staff that participated in different roles and capacities that range from teachers, security officers, and drivers in the 2021 national exams that were held between March through to April. A total of 86,026 personnel did participate in this particular exercise, and their allowances have been released. However, KNEC did say that those who marked the papers will still have to wait a little longer before their dues are processed, and they went on to clarify that this is not a delay per se. However, it is part of the process that they ought to do in order to verify the data of the contracted staff that were involved in this particular process before paying them. But it is a relief for at least 86,026 professionals that participated in these exams. The other story that has been featured here on the front page of the Daily Nation is in regards to Kenya missing the COVID-19 vaccination target that was set by the World Health Organization. Kenya is off the mark in regards to the vaccination target. The World Health Organization was hoping that Kenya would have attained 70% vaccination by mid this year, that is June. However, according to the latest statistics, the country's vaccination stands at 31%, which is way off the target that was set by World Health Organization. And most of these reasons that have been highlighted by the Ministry of Education target the vaccine apathy that we are still experiencing in our country that has led to the low uptake of the vaccine. Again, the story concerning IEBC finds its way here on the front page of the Daily Nation, with Chebukati responding to one of Raila's queries in regards to the August elections by saying that this year all the voters will be identified electronically. There will be no physical use of a voter register at the polling station, and this is one of the decisions that they made that is based on a report that was done on the it's actually called the post-election report for the 2017 general elections. It is one of the sources for this move to go electronically in identifying voters. And finally, Uhuru allies to bitter foes, a question of loyalty. And here they go on to highlight 12 particular individuals that were one of the biggest supporters of President Uhuru Kenyatta, but once he declared his support for Raila Odinga, they shifted camp. So now the question is are they disloyal, or they are just living up to the unfulfilled promise that President Kenyatta made to support DP Ruto for his presidential run once his term, that is the President Kenyatta, comes to an end. Details in not too long. Doreen.
Matters food security is what the PD is holding for you this Monday morning, with concerns now being raised with the 19 out of the 23 arid and semi-arid counties which are currently affected. This has been an issue actually since the beginning of this year. We've seen the state employ different measures, including cash transfers to these affected counties, particularly those in the arid and semi-arid areas. And now, as it stands out, 6 counties are now being classified as being in the alert phase, actually being in the alarm phase, and then 13 counties being classified as being in the alert phase, and 4 counties out of all this being classified as being in the normal phase. So obviously, when we get to those details, I'll be breaking down for you these counties and basically what mechanism was used to just establish these counties in the 3 different phases and what this portend for the country as it pertains to matters food security. And now also police blame for rise in road accidents, whereby now stakeholders in the transport sector are accusing the National Police Service of laxity following the increased cases of road accident. This is just a report that has been drawn from the Road Safety Association of Kenya, which they say is so different from the report that has been released by NTSA in respect to the number of death cases that have been reported in the country since March of this year. Obviously, again, blaming the police force of laxity in respect respect to such cases which have been reported as a result of road accidents. And now also accept results to avert chaos. This is what the two front runners in this year's elections are being urged by ICG, that is the International Crisis Group, which has also raised a raft of risks which could portend in this elections. Key among them, they say, inadequate funding for IEBC, failure to fill vacant positions at the agencies in time, and the rejection of laws that could have smoothened the electoral path could muddy the water. So this is what the ICG is saying, and in addition to that, they are also urging the two front runners to declare publicly that they would accept results whichever way the results turn out. And again, obviously that story concerning the IEBC and the use of digital registrar as opposed to the physical one, and now political parties are raising concerns in respect to this decision by the IEBC on the same, citing the issue of a possible system failure. And if that is perhaps going to be the case, then what has IEBC put in place in respect to that? And lastly, Sakaja to know his fate on Wednesday, even as tribunal says. Remember that he has a window of today to present his credentials, that is the academic degree, and so after that, then the tribunal is set to sit between today and Tuesday and declare his fate on Wednesday. Again, that is also in respect to the academic papers. This, remember, when you talk even about the academic papers and degree papers, there's been a lot of concerns, particularly with most of these leaders, particularly that issue just coming up. And this is, in respect to the Commission on University of Kenya releasing, the list of those members who do not fit the bill. So even as this is happening, just a way to see what the electoral body will decide in respect to these issues. This is even as it's set to just sit and resolve these issues that have been raised by some of these leaders in this 10 days that it has to sit and decide the fate of most of these leaders. Regina.
A copy of the standard matters of, certification and verification right there. Sakaja's issues. Sakaja degree, fake or real? Big trouble. Despite getting clearance, 4 cases have been filed to challenge Johnson's Sakaja's nomination for governorship. And if any succeeds, well, he'll be knocked off the ballot, leaving Kenya Kwanza clutching on hope that IEBC allows a replacement. That's a big read in this particular paper. And it goes on to the next page and gives, a highlight of where Sakaja is, and rightfully put, his fate will be known on Wednesday. Yeah. Now, also matters of IEBC when it comes to its preparedness to handle free, fair elections. And in respect to digital, expect only digital registers at polling stations. And this is according to IEBC, somewhat responding to some of the questions that were asked by Azimio La Umoja flag bearer Raila Odinga. Among the questions that he asked is that, is the electronic transmission of results tamper-proof? One. Secondly, will there be hard copies of voter register at the polling station? 3, has the integrity of the register being upheld? What is the outcome of the audit of voters register? What are the alternative transmission plans for areas without 3G, 4G? Will returning officers' names be shared with political parties? To this end, when it comes to matters of ROs, returning officers, the IEBC went on to say the sharing of returning officers with political parties is no longer necessary since they are already permanent employees of IEBC. So is a firm printing the ballot papers competent? Now, Inform Lycos from South Africa has the capacity to deliver without subcontracting, and information that it delayed the Nigeria election is unfounded. This is the service provider who is going to be, the firm that is going to be printing this particular ballot papers in question there. Then also Raila questioned, has the IEBC irregularly delegated some roles to Smartic BV Holding? In regard to that, IEBC said the commission only shared technical specification to the bidder. BVR data has been migrated from the previous company, Idemia, that is OT Morpho, to Smartmatic. Has the commission done what has the Commission done to address technology capacity? To this end, IEBC responds KIM's kit info register to be locked to specific polling stations via QR code specific to them. The Commission is auditing its technology. The 10th, and not the least, of the questions that have been put forth by Azimio leader, that is Raila Odinga. What has the Commission done to address ghosts of 2017 as flagged by the Supreme Court? You remember that tussle there that went to the courts that nullified the elections then? So the Commission has drafted legal reforms and submitted them to Parliament, embarked on institutional reforms for all its directorates and increased stakeholder engagements. That's just but a sneak peek of, the questions posed by Azimio Umoja flag bearer there, Raila Odinga, to IEBC and the subsequent responses therein. Matters of COVID-19 positivity rate there shoots to 9.9%. The government maintains that no, it is not going to impose any health measures or health protocols, but you are advised to mask up if need be, social distance if you can, and wash your hands thoroughly with some soap and water, as well as sanitizing. Now on to matters of social development. Watch out, 12 million children have access to pornography. Now a report by the State Department for Social Protection indicates that most children access pornography through their parents' and friends' mobile phones, as well as school computers. Call to parents there to be careful when your children ask for that phone or even grab it. You need to know that the content therein is palatable for them. That's a report. Remember, further details of all stories are still available on our website. That is www.kbc.co.ke. Jane?
Well, with that, we want to put a cap on this particular segment. We have so much more lined up for you, so do stay with us. We are still using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. Our official station handle ever remains to be at KBC Channel 1. Our individual handles are at Ray Manyara, at Rina Range, at Victor Olong, and at Jane Wambui. We'll be right back.